well with Nico de Boinville, but he's going to be taken on by the likes of Master Overseer. All the evidence suggests he needs to lead, Mick.
It certainly does. Fill the power, of course. Ryan Mania for the Sue Smith yard does particularly well in the soft ground. Major Malarkey, we've heard about the Twiston Davis team. That one's at 7-1. One on the Milan. This horse could be very interesting for Evan Williams and Paul Maloney. Cool Operator, one that I really fancy. A horse who won well last time. Philip Kirby trains, Richie McGrath on the plate, and Shaq Ducadran, the Catterick winner for Chris Bealby, your 3-1 favourite.
Big Occasion looks like he's coming into his own now. He's got long distances. Run very well at Lingfield last time. Mikey Ennis claims a valuable 7. You Know Yourself is very, very in and out nowadays. Rebecca's Choice is out of the handicap, even with Frank Windsor-Clive's claim. So the interesting ones look to be further up the weights, but the stats show down the years that light weights tend to do pretty well in this race.
Call them. They walk forward. And they're off. The tape flies back for the Betfred Midlands Grand National. First run in 1969. 3 circuits of Uttoxeter in front of them. 24 fences to jump. Carruthers down at the rail, pressing on into the paddock turn with favourite Shaq Ducadran next door. Last year's winner, Master Overseer. Red Cap is close up in third. And then Fill the Power in a black and yellow jacket with Cool Operator tucking in on the inside in the blue and white next door to Major Malarkey. That pair shadowed by You Know Yourself. Rebecca's Choice in the cheek piece is 3/4 of the way back as they prepare to rise for the first time. Big Occasion in the headgear is held up. The leading pair safely over the opening fence. So watching the rest stream over it. One in a Milan was the last to touch down. Major Malarkey is already being bustled along after only one fence. The Market Springer, the nose-banded Global Power with the stripes on the sleeves, is inclined to race quite keenly. And Major Malarkey is being pulled up. Major Malarkey is out of the race. Last year's runner-up pulled up before fence 2. So -1 as the remainder go on down the back straight, and at the second, one in a Milan in rear. Yellow jacket was a bit awkward. So drama at an early stage of the Midlands Grand National, and Major Malarkey's out of the race as Shaq Ducadran and Carruthers lead over the third. From Master Overseer, a disputing third with Fill the Power. And then You Know Yourself, who's in 5th place ahead of Cool Operator and Global Power, moving on towards the only other fence in the back straight, running downhill to it. Shaq Ducadran, yellow sleeves and cap for Tom Messenger. From Carruthers on the near side, defending his unbeaten record when Nico de Boinville is aboard. Last year's winner, Master Overseer, on the far side of Fill the Power. And then You Know Yourself, stable companion to Fill the Power. Carruthers just had to reach for that. Global Power is in mid-division, wide of Cool Operator. Big Occasion and Rebecca's Choice held up with one in Milan as they leave the back straight for the first time. And there'd be some 12 lengths first to last. 10 of them then move towards the end of the first 3/4 of a mile as they head up towards the first in the straight, fence 5. Shaq Ducadran from Carruthers, then Master Overseer seeking to give David Piper a hat-trick in the race. Stable companion Big Occasion is further back in the field in the dark blue and white. Shaq Ducadran clears that one safely. From Carruthers and Master Overseer, away to the right, Cool Operator angling for a better position. Fill the Power tracking them with You Know Yourself, Pink Cap, and then Rebecca's Choice, the cheek pieces from Global Power, Big Occasion, and one in a Milan. And Carruthers gave the ditch plenty of daylight, and Big Occasion on that occasion was just the last to land. So a couple more plain fences up the straight, bringing them to the end of their first circuit. And it's Carruthers and Shaq Ducadran who press on, both with ears flicking backwards and forwards. They rise as one, a couple of lengths up on Fill the Power and Master Overseer, who dispute third. Then a 3-length break to You Know Yourself, the Pink Cap, just ahead of the hat-trick seeking pair of Rebecca's Choice and Cool Operator, the latter in the blue and white. Global Power away to the left from Big Occasion, and one in a Milan. So a full circuit of jumping completed. 8 fences behind them, 2 more circuits to go. They pass onto the judge, and it's Carruthers and Shaq Ducadran who will run the next turn together. Still Master Overseer, riding shotgun, wide of Fill the Power. Rebecca's Choice up into 5th place ahead of Cool Operator. And You Know Yourself, who's lost a couple of positions, little ground, but a couple of positions. And the final 3 are Global Power, Big Occasion, and the very patiently ridden one in a Milan. So to the first over on the far side, fence 9, Carruthers and Shaq Ducadran, still being followed through by Master Overseer, who jumped well there. Then Fill the Power, Rebecca's Choice, You Know Yourself midfield. Cool Operator and Big Occasion still held up. Big Occasion has travelled enthusiastically under £7 amateur Mikey Ennis. Global Power back to biggish prices just before the off. Continues under a patient ride, and one in Milan remains last. Uttoxeter had to reach for that one on that occasion, just snatched at it, and Global Power was a little untidy as they head to the midpoint in the back straight for the second time and move on to fence 11. Uttoxeter, Carruthers on the near side, far side, Master Overseer. And then Fill the Power from Rebecca's Choice, and You Know Yourself. Uttoxeter jumping well there. Cool Operator in the last group of 4 with Global Power, Big Occasion, and One in a Milan as they reach the highest point of the track and now descend for the 12th, bringing them toward halfway in the Betfred Midlands Grand National. Uttoxeter in the centre in the dark cheek pieces, with the enthusiastically going Carruthers on the near side. Master Overseer continues to stalk them. Rebecca's Choice has travelled up well for Frank Windsor-Clive in the centre in the dark jacket. Jumps well there, just ahead of Fill the Power, You Know Yourself, and then Global Power. And then back to Cool Operator, Big Occasion, and still One in a Milan is last of the 10 that remain. So once again, they descend from the back straight and head for the last 2 miles. Halfway in the Betfred Midlands Grand National. Uttoxeter leads them from Carruthers, then Rebecca's Choice and Master Overseer. The pace has been generous without being breakneck. Uttoxeter and Carruthers confirmed front runners, and they prepare to rise at the 13th, pretty much as one. Rebecca's Choice is hunting them up now into 3rd, ahead of Master Overseer away to the left. And then Fill the Power and You Know Yourself. Richie McGrath removes one set of goggles aboard. Cool Operator on the far side in the blue and white. Away to the left, Global Power, and then Big Occasion and One in a Milan as they cross the ditch for the second time. And Global Power left a trailing leg in the ditch there. It cost him a little bit of momentum. He angles out, and now Master Overseer has a little pressure applied. Scudamore crouching a bit lower for a few strides as they come to the next one up the straight, the 15th. And again, little splitting Carruthers and Uttoxeter. Rebecca's Choice, though, sitting right on their tails. Fill the Power in the black and yellow jacket, and then Master Overseer, You Know Yourself, coming under pressure. Cool Operator shaken up, and then Global Power and Big Occasion and One in a Milan. And here's the 16th, and Uttoxeter rather missed that one and hit the top of it. So they set out with one more circuit to go. They do it all over again, another 8 fences to jump in the Betfred Midlands Grand National. A mile and 3 furlongs still to travel, and the roll call as they run the paddock turn. Carruthers just shading it from Uttoxeter. Rebecca's Choice, the cheek piece, is close up in 3rd, a half length to Fill the Power. Then a couple of lengths away to You Know Yourself from Global Power, and Master Overseer switch to the inside but sliding back through the field. Big Occasion is next, and then Cool Operator and One in a Milan as they head on towards the 17th, and the gallop is unrelenting, and it's Carruthers from Uttoxeter as they prepare to rise. Global Power on the far side, much closer to them now. Not on landing there from Carruthers, just pitched slightly. Wasn't so good from Rebecca's Choice in behind, but he continues to travel well under Frank Windsor-Clive. More reminders from Master Overseer. Big Occasion in the dark blue and white has begun to pick off 1 or 2 of those in behind as they go on towards the 18th, entering the final mile of the race. And Uttoxeter jump well, forced an error from You Know Yourself, who's unseated Callum Bewley, deposited on the ground. So Uttoxeter from Carruthers, Rebecca's Choice, Fill the Power, Global Power on the far side, yellow jacket for young Tom Garner, then Big Occasion, One in a Milan, the noseband inching a bit closer. Carruthers hit that one. Master Overseer is toiling on, but a repeat victory at present is looking unlikely, and Cool Operator is struggling to mount a challenge as they race now for the final fence in the back straight. They've got 5 left to jump in the Betfred Midlands Grand National. Uttoxeter in their centre, Carruthers the near side, rode along, but head bowed in grim determination. Far side Global Power, Fill the Power in the middle, and Rebecca's Choice stalking them, and Big Occasion is now sitting right on their coattails. Here's 5 out, Uttoxeter booted into it, and he delivered with a good leap, forced an error from One in a Milan, who hit it hard, and Maloney was briefly at the buckle end. So they make the downhill run and prepare to swing for home with a half mile to travel and 4 to jump. Uttoxeter is now taken on by Big Occasion, and Mikey Ennis in the centre. The blue and white seem to take a pull there aboard the gelding. Fill the Power's come right alongside, and Global Power makes a line of 4 as heads turn for home, and Big Occasion has virtually tugged his way through into a narrow lead. From Global Power away to the left, Fill the Power in the centre, Uttoxeter on the right, Rebecca's Choice trying to get into it. 5 covered by only a couple of lengths. Carruthers beaten off. One in a Milan on the extreme right is nursed into it by Paul Maloney as Big Occasion for David Pipe and Mikey Ennis lead down towards the third last. Global Power and Rebecca's Choice are challenging. Big Occasion delivered there. A good jump. It carried him a length clear from Rebecca's Choice. Global Power is flat to the boards. Then one in a Milan, Shakhtar Kadran and Fill the Power. There are two left to jump in the Midlands National, and it's Big Occasion with ears pricked to the penultimate fence. He lands 3 lengths clear. Rebecca's Choice is still chasing gamely. One in a Milan back in third, blundered, and now the 24th and final fence looms large in the Betfred Midlands Grand National. Big Occasion draws to it. At the last, he tickles the top, but he's over safely. A blunder from Rebecca's Choice back in second. One in a Milan is leaden-legged back in third. Big Occasion driven out. David Pipe, the man for the Big Occasion at Uttoxeter. He completes a hat-trick in the Midlands National. Mikey Ennis, his biggest success today, as Big Occasion wins on Staffordshire's big day. Rebecca's Choice is in second. One in a Milan third. Then Global Power, Fill the Power, Shakhtar Kadran, and that's your lot.